how we get to that point before siblings are fighting, and what can we do to try and intervene, not after the fact, but before the fact. And I'm just going to share one way that worked with me and see if it's useful for you, and if it does, then great, and obviously share it if you find that it is. That'd be wonderful. It was in the film Star Trek Beyond that I got this idea. In it, Khan creates an ultimatum for Kirk and Spock, and they try and reply, try and come back something different, and Khan very coolly says, right, well, if you do that, then I'll do this, and it would result in me winning. So you now make a choice. And in that moment, Khan kind of explained that the whole chess game, if you like, all the pieces lined up and how it's going to fall and how he's going to win if the course of action that Kirk was suggesting or Spock was suggesting carried out. He had laid it all out in advance. And so somehow the logic was enough to create a different answer. So I saw this in the film and I thought that's really quite fascinating. I took it forward to experience I had with my kids recently, and I'll share it with you. I heard them playing, my two sons and my daughter, having a great time, all absolutely fine, and you probably recognise as a parent, at some point, it began to tip. Not that it was getting that point yet, but it was just that point before it hit a peak of there might be some upset happening. So when I heard this particular point, and you're going to know this, you're going to hear this point where it's going to be just before it gets too much, I intervened. I told them to stop for a moment what they were doing, which was fine because they had not escalated, it's all okay. I said, right, at this point, what happens next is you're going to get hurt, you're going to start crying, and you'll get hurt as well. Now, if you want to carry on this particular way, this is the outcome that most typically happens for you guys. Someone's going to get hurt unintentionally, someone's going to get crying, and someone's going to have consequences for their behaviour. That's how it's going to roll. Now you have a choice. Either you can, back it down a bit, do something else, or simply become aware of that. But I'm presenting you what typically happens. So now you have a choice. And I walked away. Delightfully, that actually seemed to work. And it's not the first time I've used it, where I simply laid out for them the usual pattern of behaviours that you have when they're getting overexcited and the rough and tumble play becomes a bit too much or someone gets hurt. I let them know this is what usually happens. I didn't say to them, stop fighting, which is what we can usually do, or take them out or whatever, or leave it and this escalates. I intervened at a point where they gave them choice and ideas of how to handle it. And that was very useful. It allowed them to control themselves. So it's really a simple technique that worked really well with me recently and in the past. Get a moment when you notice that peak point, identify what's going to happen, play it all out, and then to see how they change or how they adapt. Again, age and stage, judge it as you need to, but I found it very effective, worked very well, and was able to then actually, delightfully, quell any rising tide of upset. So I'll leave it with you, have fun with that, I'll catch you next time.